Everybody, John here again, and so just another vinyl and CD finds video. Records that I've picked up recently that I thought would be nice to show. While I'm doing that, I'm going to be listening to Peter Seeger. It's a record I picked up recently. Been really quite enjoying it actually. Peter Seeger is somebody I don't know much about other than, you know, what influence he had on early Bob Dylan. And yeah, when these things pop up, I tend to grab them. It's only an MFP and something I picked up for 99p in a charity shop. But it's a pretty good record. It's actually, yeah, so this is a reissue of an original album. I'll put up here which album it is. There you go. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. So, I got some records, one CD to show, and some of them are, well, at least one or two of them are charity shop finds, and some of them are ones that I picked up in my local car boot store recently. So, I'm trying to think where I should start now. So it's a mix of rock, and there is some soul. I'll bring those out a bit, perhaps a bit further towards the back end, and an old blues record too. So I'll start off by talking about this. This is Sharks. Never heard them before. I saw this in Oxfam, and I was curious about it. Something told me that this might be something that I should get. Not very much. I had a quick look up to see, you know, if I could identify anything about the band, and it turns out it is the band of former Free bass guitarist Andy Fraser. So this is the album that he made upon leaving Free, and yeah, he formed his band and released this. It's not bad at all. It's quite a pleasant record, and it becomes evident when you listen to it. You can hear, yeah, there's that strain of the sound of Free still there, and it's quite good. Been quite enjoying it. Don't know much more about them. I think they released maybe one album after this, but I don't think they kind of did an awful lot. I shall do a little needle drop at this because you're probably all curious as to how it sounds. Enjoy this. So my next record I'm going to show, this is something that I picked up at the car boot sale just this Sunday past. It's a Rory Gallagher album. Got quite a collection of these now. So this is called Take It Easy Baby. And this is a reissue, a 70s reissue of sort of a very, very early Taste record. I'm not quite sure as to the reality of it, but it's so, as I understand it, it's like early recordings of Taste, but I don't think it was ever actually published as an album, but it was sort of released afterwards in the 70s because because of the success of Rory Gallagher, and with that in mind, it's actually quite an interesting document. I don't have anything by Taste, and I don't think I actually heard anything by Taste before, so this is quite an interesting listen. It doesn't come up on sort of Rory Gallagher or Taste discography. You have to kind of dig a little bit to find out. Give this a listen as well. This is really interesting. How many more years I'm gonna let you talk around? How many more years I'm gonna let you talk around? Yeah, I'm gonna be 10, baby, sleeping 6 feet in the ground. Gonna go down on my knees, raise up my right hand. Gonna fall down on my knees, raise up my right hand. Say I feel much better, baby, if you would only understand. Here's an album that I've been thinking about getting for a while. It's Tommy Bolin, his first solo album called Teaser. And for a long time I've had his second album. I put it here. And I've always been quite underwhelmed by it because it's supposed to be an album that's, by a lead guitarist, and I just assume the idea is to sort of celebrate his great guitar playing. And on that album, there's not very much. I think it was Chris at Vinyl Orchard that told me a while ago that I should look into getting this because this would be, a better representation of his talent. And well, he's not wrong. This is a really good album. I've really been enjoying this. And this sounds like an album made by a great guitarist. His second one kind of doesn't really show that, but I understand that he made that perhaps while he was, he suffered with drug addiction, didn't he? So maybe it came out at a time when he wasn't in his best shape, whereas this one is really, really good. Recommend this one. I won't do an interview for this because I'm sure most of you have probably already heard it, but well worth looking into. But it's good because it's got a lot of styles. It's not just sort of simple plain rock all the way through. It's lots of different jazz and stuff going on in here. Very diverse record. Here's a record that I picked up at the car boot sale this Sunday. So this is Ian Gillan, Glory Road. I couldn't believe it when this popped up. So it was this particular stall that I bought these from. It was a man I've seen there before, and I bought records from him before. And he has like 3 or 4 boxes, and he charges £5 each, or 3 for 10. And I guess that's a sort of reasonable price, isn't it, really? So, and I saw this, and it's actually in pretty good shape. It's easily VG plus, if not mint. Record's in great shape. And I'd sort of been kind of half looking out for this one because I recently bought another Ian Gillan record, and I sort of read up and heard that this one is a very good example of how good Gillan can be. And so I snatched this up. So this one and the Rory Gallagher record were two of the three that I bought from that man. Great record. It's satisfying when you're kind of listening out for something and then it pops up in the wild, you know, it's sort of meant to be. So I'm very happy to have that in my collection. And the third record that I picked up at that time is this one here by Keel. I didn't know much about Keel. I read up about them. It's a rock band, isn't it? It's a generic late 80s sort of rock, I think they call it glam metal style. So the singer, Ron Keel, apparently he was the singer in Yngwie Malmsteen's first band, Steeler. And Steeler only made one record before Yngwie Malmsteen went off and played for, what was that record? No Parole for Rock and Roll. Can't remember the name of the band, I'll put it here. Anyway, and so this guy, Ron Keel, formed his own band. And this is, I think, about the third studio album by that lot. Had I had chance to listen to this, I probably wouldn't have bought it home. Like I say, it's just very generic. It could be any of those bands in the late 80s. And I may be wrong. Maybe this has hidden sort of depths. I don't know. But I haven't noticed it the first couple of times I've played it. I'll play it again a few more times. But otherwise, this will be filed away under K in my heavy metal records. Maybe it'll be something that I show interest in later on. I don't know. But that's Keel, The Final Frontier. Here's a compilation. This is an interesting one. Here's a compilation that I bought a long time ago at this same car boot sale last year. I don't think I've shown it. It's Axe Attack Volume 2. I think I've got Axe Attack Volume 1 upstairs in my in my loft in the eaves, packed away in boxes now. And it's one of those compilations that came out. This came out in 1981, and it weaves in some more established acts with one or two sort of younger bands. So, for instance, you got Rainbow, who would have been, potentially the biggest, Black Sabbath, biggest sort of bands on the scene in those days. Black Sabbath, Scorpions, White Snake, for instance. But also in amongst them, you see Motorhead, who were newish, but had been around for at least 3 or 4 albums, I suppose. Then you've got Samson, and you've got Iron Maiden, Def Leppard, and so yeah, that's a pretty good set list really there. Quite a good compilation. I'd be happy to have that. I paid £1 for that. But there were a lot of these kind of things, like the Metal for Mothers compilations that came out at the same time. And then I'm going to show this record. This is one that I bought a while ago. I think I bought this last year, and I haven't really sort of seen an opportunity to show it. It sort of clashes with a lot of other stuff that I would show perhaps. So this is an album by Greg Howe. What's he called? It's called Greg Howe, and it's on the Roadrunner Records. So in the 80s, when I was sort of getting into hard rock and heavy metal, once I'd sort of identified all this sort of shredding music by Yngwie Malmsteen, I kind of ferreted around for trying to find other things. And these records were always in the shops, but they were a lot of money. I didn't have that kind of money. I was a student at the time. I did have a compilation, a Guitar Masters compilation. Really, really good compilation. And steadily through the years, as I go through life, look through records, now and again, I see albums that were featured on that compilation, and this is one of them. Track on there, I think, is called, I could be wrong, but I think it was called Bad Racket, which is what this guy plays on that compilation. So, yeah, I'm not quite so interested in that sort of guitar shredding thing anymore like I used to be. I got it really just to kind of complete, or try to complete, the collection of albums that were featured on that. I've got a few of them now. I should make a video about that actually sometime. So this is it. I'm going to do a little bit of a needle drop of this, not too much, because, I don't know if people enjoy guitar shredding as much anymore. So this next record I've got is kind of a curiosity. I don't know if I'm going to keep this in my collection or not. Probably not. So this is something I picked up from the Marie Curie charity shop. It's Bessie's Blues, Bessie Smith, 1923 to 1924. It's on the classic Jazz Masters. I paid 99p for this, and it was it was just curiosity really. It seemed to be in relatively good shape, and I thought, well, I'll give this a go. I knew the name, but I didn't know that much, and she does seem to be one of the very early sort of jazz blues. I think probably more blues, you'd say, jazz blues performers. And these performances that are on here, I mean, they are really old. They would have been issued on shellac records initially, and that I think those performances weren't always, the performances were great, but the recording techniques weren't great, and so the sort of shellac recordings put onto vinyl, they leave a lot to be desired. It's kind of a timepiece, and like I said, I bought it out of curiosity. Don't think I'm going to keep this in my collection because I just don't think I will listen to it very much. It's been an interesting spin, but I can't. I'm not going to pull this out and get into it as much. It's just more sort of listening to some of the history of music the way it was at that time. And that's Bessie's Blues. Next three are ones that I bought in the car boot sale last week, and they are kind of soul type stuff. First one I'm going to show is this Mary Wells compilation. She was one of the original Motown stars. She sort of was very young when she wrote this song, My Guy, and performed it. And by performing it, she became, an artist that Motown quickly snapped up. Someone's put a felt pen on the back there on her face, which is a shame. But yeah, again, this is only a cheapie. It's a sort of music for pleasure. It would be interesting to have some of her original records if I ever come across them, but it's only a matter of time. But I like this. I'm quite enjoying it. It's sort of a nice, easy listen. Next one I've got is Diana Ross. Again, I picked this up. So these, the last one, this one, and the next one, each cost me £1 each from the same seller. They are in pretty sort of filthy condition. It's always really satisfying when you bring home records like this and you clean them up because they sound so good. So this is Diana Ross' second studio album. And I think this is a US pressing. You know, had it been a British one, it would have been released on Tamla Motown. As far as I can tell, it's a US pressing, and it comes complete with its original inner sleeve. Great stuff. And yeah, I've been really enjoying this. This is her second album that she released as a solo artist. First one she did was apparently a lot more soulful. This one has covers of Beatles covers and one or two other covers. I think the Carpenters, she covers a song or two from them too on this. But it's a bit more commercial. I understand that it was kind of quickly made and quickly produced because to cash in on the success of the first album. And yeah, not one I had, only cost me 99p or £1. And yeah, I quite like it. It's got that beautiful sort of early Motown sound. It's good fun. And then the last one I'm going to show today, the last record at least, I'm going to show a CD after this. So this is the Four Tops Live. Again, this was from the same seller as the last one. Quite grubby when I picked it up, brought it home, cleaned it. Beautiful clean record. It's on Tamla Motown, and it's a live performance. It sounds like it's in a really small club. So yeah, I mean, there they are on stage. I presume that's probably a photo from the occasion. And yeah, I've got a few albums by the Four Tops now, so I'm slowly building up a bit of a collection of their music, and yeah, getting a good understanding of the sort of things that they did when they did it. And finally, the last thing I'm going to show today is a Jimi Hendrix CD. Those of you that have been watching my videos for the past year or so note that I seem to have this weird kind of luck where Jimi Hendrix albums kind of throw themselves at me. This popped up again. I think I paid 50p for this at a car boot sale. I wasn't sure what it was, and yeah, what's quite true is that there's more Hendrix albums than there are actual albums, and often or not, it's just repackaging of older stuff. So this is repackaging of the two albums which I'm going to show here. So this is the first one, and the second one, Experience, Jimi Hendrix. There's sort of two, and I've got both of those in my collection. Whereas this is sort of a packaging of those two albums brought together, both on one CD. And obviously it was the same gig, and so it makes sense. One for the car. Very good. There's quite an extensive booklet in there about all the event and everything like that. Okay, everybody. Well, thanks very much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. Do one or two little needle drops in this, and I'm just going to call out to Nicholas, a new channel, or a new channel to me anyway. I think he's been around for a few years. I stumbled upon his channel just around about this time last week, and turns out this guy is actually in Wales, where I live, not far away actually, just along the coast. And I got really excited when I found his channel. Lots of videos to kind of see it. And it's interesting because he'd done some of the things that I'd done, different competitions that I'd also done, and his tag videos and that sort of stuff. So it was really nice, just kind of, I spent probably a whole evening just consuming his content. He probably thinks I'm some kind of weird stalker because I put quite a lot of different comments on these different videos. But I've really been enjoying it. It's always nice to find someone that's sort of located close to where you are, and you've got a similar kind of music taste. I mean, he talks a lot about Queen, classic rock generally, a bit of heavy metal here and there. So I've been really enjoying his channel. So hi Nicholas, great to see you. Look forward to future videos. Okay everybody, that's everything I've got for you today. Thanks very much. Check out my next video. Bye.